Steps in the electoral process. In this class, we are going to look at the stages in our electoral process. Our electoral process is a long set of processes, successive processes, step 1 to step 6. Each of these steps are regulated by the law. And each of these steps have conditionalities attached to it. So before we arrived at voting and announcement of election, there are other steps, preceding steps. So what we are going to be doing in this class is identifying each of these stages and some of the things we are supposed to know about them. The first stage is what we refer to as a pre-election stage. This is the stage in which INEC releases the election calendar, determines when election is going to happen, when party primary is going to be conducted, when voter registration is going to happen. So rules around voter registration, process of voter registration, all of these are going to be conducted in the pre-election stage. The second stage talks about party primary stage. This is the stage in which political parties conduct primaries, whether direct primaries, indirect primaries, however they decide to select candidates to represent them. So it's about the internal democratic process of each political party. Then the third stage talks about political campaigning. So that is where candidates and political parties sell their manifesto, they sell their plans, they promote their respective policies and ideological positions. So in this stage, political parties go across Nigeria, go across states, across local government, soliciting for votes and engaging electorate. Then the fourth stage, which commences the voting stage, the polling stage, talks about accreditation. At this stage, voters go to their registered polling unit to accredit. Accreditation is the first stage in the voting process. Pre-election stage is the first stage in the electoral process. So accreditation is the fourth stage of the electoral process. It's the stage in which you go to your polling station, to your polling center, you check your name on the voters list, you thumbprint the voting machine to accredit whether to cross-match you with the voter's card you have. Then the fifth stage is the voting. So that's when you select your preferred candidates. And this is one of the areas where you have problems with elections in Nigeria, because a lot of voters vote wrongly, because there is a process for voting. You must thumbprint in a particular box. You must not cross print, meaning that you must not print a candidate. You must not, your thumb shouldn't be in between two candidates. And elections are conducted on Saturdays in the morning. So you must understand that. So voting itself follows the laws that we've spoken about in the preceding class. Going outside the law means you've committed a crime. So in voting, it has to be done in consonance with INEC rules and regulation. And the sixth stage in the electoral process talks about collation and declaration of results. So when votes have closed, INEC officials and party agents onlooking would collect ballot papers, count them, identify them. When they've been counted, it's going to be sorted. And when this is sorted, votes are going to be tallied. This goes to party A, goes to party B, goes to party C. A number of votes casted are going to be recorded in the provided INEC recording sheets. You cannot record votes except in the documents that have been provided by INEC, except in the process that have been identified by INEC. So once again, I will go to the 6 stages in the electoral process in Nigeria. The first is the pre-election stage, the stage in which the calendar is released, voters register, new voters are enrolled. The second stage is the party primary, where the candidates of parties emerge. The third stage looks at the political campaign, where policies and manifestos are sold. The fourth stage, which commences voting, is accreditation. And the fifth is voting. And the sixth, which is the final process, is collation and declaration of election results.